In this section, we're going to talk about the enterprise structure in SAP S/4HANA. Let's start talking about an example of a business scenario. An example is that we are implementing a SAP for a UK company called TO SAP, whose head office is in the United States. It's a US based company, but it also operates factories in UK, Germany, and China. Its industry or domain is manufacturing. It manufactures power tools or DIA tools for the construction and woodworking industries, and its products include drill machines, hammers, saw, and angle grinder. The company wants to understand how their existing business processes will be mapped into SAP S/4HANA Business Suite. For sourcing and procurement, it should have two different factories for UK company, and a single purchasing department is responsible for procurement activities for both factories. The company buyers are responsible to carry out all the purchasing activities. Each factory should have two different storage location warehouses, one near the airport and one near the company's location. In all other companies, especially in US companies, should have one factory and one purchasing department. The UK company transfers its stock to US company, so the configuration in SAP should also be made for the intercompany purchases and stock transfer. Now we can show the enterprise structure. We can see in this diagram the enterprise corporate group. In the second level, the company, the factory, and so on, with the storage location warehouse. About the SAP mapping, we start define the client, and after that we define the company code, the plant, the purchasing organization, the purchasing group, and the storage location. The client is linked. The client defines the enterprise. It's a number that defines the enterprise. So the corporate group. The company code defines the company or the subsidiary of the company. The plant defines the factory, and the purchasing group defines the purchase department of the factory, and the purchase group instead define the buyer or the buyers. And finally, the storage location defines the storage location or the warehouse. Let's continue the example started before. Now we're talking about the SAP mapping for this example, and in our UK company it should have two different plants. So let's imagine two different plants located in two different cities, or the same city but two different locations. A single purchasing organization is responsible for procurement activities for both plants, or in other words, it should have the cross-plant purchasing scenario. Several purchasing groups need to be created representing individual buyers or a single team responsible to carry out purchasing activities for the company. Each plant should have two different storage locations, one near the airport and one near the company's location. In all other company code, especially in a US company, it should have one plant and one purchasing organization. the UK company transfers its stock to US company. So the configuration in SAP should also be made for intercompany purchases and stock transfer. So what can we do now for mapping this situation in SAP in the system? Step 1, we're gonna create the client if it's not already created. So so before that, the client is the representation in SAP of the enterprise. So it's a univoc number, and we have to define this. Or if it's already created, we've not have to create another number. So let's see. Step 2, create a UK company code by copying the substandard template for GB company code. So we have an already existing company code related to GB company, and we have just to copy that and create the new one. Step 3, create a business area for each product line. So we have to create a new one business area. Step 4, create a company for internal trading operation. Step 5, assign the company code to the company and see the relevant table information through the T code SC16 and let's start with the define of the enterprise structure. So the client is a 3-digit numerical key. The transaction code is SCC4, and this is the table. So this is all the key information about creating a new client, okay? And this is the key information about the company code. So 4-digit numeric or alpha key, this is the piece of customizing with the transaction code. This is the name of the table. Also for the business area creation, we have a 4-digit alphanumeric key created at a client level, and this is the name of the table. Above the company code, we're gonna say that represent an independent balancing legal accounting entity and is used for external purposes. Example, a company with independent account within a corporate group. Financial statement required by law can be created at company code level. A separate company code is usually created for country in order to fulfill the legal requirements such as taxation, etc. And to create a new company code, we have, like we said before, we have to copy an existing company, an existing company code template created before, and copying that we can define automatically, we can define the definition, the global parameters, the customizing table, the GL accounts, the account determination, and so on automatically carried on based on the previous company code created. And its table is the T001, can be viewed from the T code SC16N, and it's only to view this information. It's just a table to watch and to control the the information contained that we created before. We have also a transaction code to access in this area of customizing in SAPs, or alternatively we have to go through this menu path. So enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, and so on. And after the creation of the client and the company code, we have to create the business area. What is a business area? Business area represents the separate areas of operation within an organization and can be used across company codes. A business area balancing entities that can create their own set of financial statements for internal purposes. It's possible to save and evaluate transaction figures for each business area, and the use of business area is optional, so it's not mandatory to create a business area. So it's up to the customer. And other information about business area is that a business area is not assigned to a company code directly. It can be picked up as a combination in the master data or transactional data. The table is the TGSB and can be viewed like the other table from SE16N, and so on. This is the menu path, and this is the transaction to define it. About the company, what is a company? A company consists of one or more company codes. It's also considered for consolidated reporting. It represents a business organization for which individual financial statement can be created according to the relevant commercial law, and it's necessary to maintain it for internal trading or intercompany transaction. Now we talk until now about the enterprise structure and what we have to define initially in a project, in a new project in SAP. Now we're gonna talk about the type of projects. So the different types of project we have, we may have to work with it. So first type is the greenfield implementation project. SAP in this case is implemented as a new ERP for the system, and this new SAP implementation replacing the old one. Another type is a rollout implementation project, and in this case we have implemented this. In this case, SAP is already implemented, but we have to do a new one more country or one more organization located in another cities or in another place. So in this case, it's already created SAP in the past, and we have to create just these new specific changes. Another type of project is a brownfield implementation project. In this case, SAP is migrated to SAP S/4HANA without re-implementation and without disruption to existing business processes. So simple, we have just to migrate SAP to SAP S/4HANA. For example, from R3 to S4. The last two types of project are the support project and the upgrade subversion. The support project simply are the support we have to provide in case of any errors, issues, change request, and so on, made by the business users. Instead, the upgrade subversion is the when an organization wants to upgrade its IPS4 version to an old one to a new one. Now we can go in the deep of each project type, talking about the blueprint documentation we have to write in the gap analysis when we make a blueprint documentation. We have to make a document called blueprint, and this document is formed starting from the processes definition document, going on the configuration object element, and the configuration specification document, regional or local. In the next section, in the next video, we start to talk about the customizing request in SAP, the change request or some customizing request.